Gitin Erev Shabbos Pashas Vayelech. We're coming upon Yom Kippur, middle of Aseret Tshuva. So a quick thought, it's called Rosh Hashanah. It's not called Seif Hashanah. The goal is to enhance our upcoming year. And the Ravid in the introduction to the Sefer Yetzirah tells us a moiridig of art. He says that Shana, the word Shana, is a lashon of shinoi, a change. The goal of Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, the Aseret Tshuva, is to have a different year. We want our year to be different, right? If you have a 40-year-old baby, he hasn't changed since he was 10. It's a very sad thing. There's nothing sadder than this Yiddish phrase, something about like an alta baby. I don't know how to say that. But we want to change every year. We want to change for the better. So we need to show the Rebbeinu Shalom that we are signing up for a better year. We want to change. We have to show the Rebbeinu Shalom what type of change we want, not just say it in the tefillas and the slichas. We need to show the Rebbeinu Shalom. How do we show the Rebbeinu Shalom that we want a shinoi in our shana? Tiny things. That's why all these Kabbalahs that the Gedolim are making. Rav Shach told Rav Matasyahu Salomon that his Kabbalah, this is famous, that was to bench from a bencher. Now that part's famous. But he continued, I only need to bench from a bencher. My Kabbalah was, when I'm home, I need bench from a bencher. When I'm home, I will bench from a bencher for the first bracha. When I'm home, I will bench from a bencher the first bracha on Shabbos. That was Rav Shach's Kabbalah. For Rav Shach, are you kidding me? No. Because he was just showing that he's making a shinoi. All we need to do is take on some tiny little thing to show the Rebbeinu Shalom what type of a shinoi we want in this shana. We are someone different. We're something different. That's how tshuva works. If someone does an avera that actually creates something in the world, how does tshuva get rid of that? If he actually created something evil, right? If someone killed somebody, the person is dead. How does tshuva fix that? And the word is that he is no longer, and Maharal explains, he's no longer the person who killed that person. Yes, there's a dead man, and there was a murderer. But he's no longer that murderer. He's a different person. He just made a shino. He was meshana who he is. That's all we need to show the Rebbeinu Shalom. There are people that make tremendous sacrifices, tremendous shinuyim. There was a couple that came to Rav Melech Biederman. They hadn't had children in years and years. And they grew up with smartphones and internet and social media and all of that. And they were very connected to it as Kedarka Betuma. And Rav Melech said, this is something that you can give to the Rebbeinu Shalom to show, to be Meshana, to make something, you change your life, and the Rebbeinu Shalom will do his part in the change. And Taka, they were makabel on themselves, they gave up their smartphones, which is a huge deal. Sometimes you have to make tremendous cheshbonos how to live off the internet, live without the internet. And 10 months later, they had their first baby. This goes back that it wasn't always internet, but the Chassam Sofer put a cherem in his yeshiva on all these books. Back then it was books. Now it's tablets. Fine. So I don't know exactly the nature of these books, but there was a tremendous taiva in those days for all the enlightenment and Haskalah and whatnot. There was one bacher, top bacher in the yeshiva. He knew about the cherem, and he didn't partake in any of these activities. But one night, in the middle of the night, he woke up, and for some reason, he had a hard time sleeping. And the Yetzirah popped into his head. You should go read this book. Everyone else was sleeping. No one would know. So that he went over and opened up the book. As soon as he picked it up, an image jumped out in front of him of a man unsheathing a massive sword. And it was just like a terrifying image. So he dropped the book. And he's like, it's late at night, I must be seeing things. So he went to pick up the book again, and again, this image jumped out. Massive sword. And he's like, oh, okay, fine, go back to sleep, forget about it. Something's just not gonna die. And the next day he was a little shaken by the whole thing. And after Shir, that day, the Chassam Sofer said, it's been a while since I was mechazik da'ilam. He said, that all of these outside books, the chitzonim books over there, we have a cherem on it. And cherem is a lashon of a ramach, resh mem ches. If you flip around the letters, which means a sword. You have to keep away from this stuff. Wow. There were other gedolim that were that were challenged to open up yeshivas, and they turned it down, and they said, hey, the Chavetz Chaim opened the yeshiva, why don't you open a yeshiva? And he said, the Chassam Sofer was able to look at a bacher, and with one look, he could be sure that this bacher won't do any averes. I don't have that koyach. Chassam Sofer was special like that. But it's our job to look at ourselves and to make our own shinuyim. It doesn't have to be huge ones, but tiny little things to show the Rebbeinu Shalom that this year, this Shana, should be a Meshona Dega Shana, but in a good way, in a positive way, in Kineged, the positive steps that we take towards the Rebbeinu Shalom, towards Kedusha. And we all be zeichet to a Gemar Chasima Toiva, a good Kebench Yar. Ha-ya-yam, bam-ba-da-bam, bidi-bam, bidi-bam, bam, ha-da-dam, bam-bidi-dam, bidi-dam, bidi-da-dam, ha-da-dam, na-da-da-da-di-da-di-da-dam, Hashiveinu, Hashem, Hashem Elecho, Vino Shuvachadish Yomeinu, Chadish Yomeinu, Kikadem. Good job, Good Yom, Tiv Gemach Chasima Toivo.